Hey guys, today we're going to talk about our brain and specifically about the frontal lobe. So, frontal lobe is the region that is located near the forehead. It is a part of the brain cerebral cortex. It is located under the frontal skull bones and near the forehead, again, right here. So, it was the last region of the brain to evolve, making it a relatively new addition to the structure. So, first of all, I would like to say that this little part here isn't really a part of our frontal lobe. It's called prefrontal cortex, which is also really important. But I'm going to be talking about frontal lobe. So first, I would like to cover some functions that frontal lobe carries for us. So first of all, it's our speech and language. It produces speech and language for us. Also, it carries out some motor functions. And also it helps us with comparing different objects, which is also really important. Also, it helps with formation of memory. It helps us to form, get ready for this because it's super important, super interesting, form our personality. I think I spelled personality wrong. Yeah, I definitely did, but it's okay because I can always erase it and change it, which is pretty cool. And one of the most important ones is that our frontal lobe helps us with managing attention. So it kind of helps us to focus on a specific task at the time. So some facts and stories about the frontal lobe. First of all, I would like to say that all the mammals, they have a frontal lobe. Even the size and complexity may vary between different species. And I really want to tell you a story about one guy. I want to tell you a story about this young man here. His name was Phineas Cage, and he was working as the foreman of a crew preparing a railroad. He was using this iron tamping rod to pack explosive powder into a hole, but unfortunately the powder detonated, sending this 43 inches long and 1.25 inch in diameter rod hurtling upward. So the rod penetrated Gage's left cheek, right like this, damaging his brain, literally through his brain, and it flew for 80 more feet. It's kind of horrible, right? But Gage not only survived the initial injury, but was able to speak and walk to a nearby car so he could be taken into town to be seen by a doctor. Like literally right after the accident. Isn't it kind of weird and amazing at the same time? Of course, he developed an infection, but he spent a few weeks in a semi-comatose state. But then on October 7th, he took his first steps out of the bed, and by October 11th, he already started to improve his intellectual functions. And basically, he started to live his normal life. So, of course, we know that the brain damage, especially of the frontal lobe, changed his behavior, and a lot of his friends stated that he didn't seem as the old Gage anymore. And his doctor suggested that the injury did lead to loss of social inhibition that lead him to behave in ways that were seen as inappropriate in that society. He lived for 30 more years after the accident, and 70 years after his death, his body was exhumed, and his skull and the tamping rod were taken to his doctor, and today both of that can be found in Harvard University School of Medicine.